Hello everyone, welcome to Affairs Cloud. The Supreme Court of India had recently passed a judgment concerned with the inheritance rights of Hindu women. So in this video, we'll take a look at the verdict and its related aspects in detail. Starting with a brief overview, the judgment delivered on the 11th of August 2020 reads that co-parcenary rights that had been granted to Hindu women by the 2005 amendment to the Hindu Succession Act shall be made retrospectively applicable. Later in the video, I'll explain to you who is a co-parcener, what is the Hindu Succession Act, and what does it mean for a law to be retrospectively applicable. For the purposes of simplicity, we can broadly classify the legal system in India as dealing with two parts, the civil part and the criminal part. The criminal law in India comes under the Indian Penal Code and is applicable to all citizens irrespective of their religion or caste. Whereas the civil laws in India shall be decided on the basis of the religion of the concerned family. The laws concerned with property inheritance comes under the civil code. Property succession can occur in two ways. One is testamentary succession and the other is intestate succession. When the deceased person has left behind a legal will which carries the details of who the property must be transferred to, it is known as testamentary succession since a legal testament has been left behind. In case no such legal will has been left behind by the deceased person, the religious laws under the civil code shall dictate the pattern of inheritance. This is known as intestate succession. The Hindu Succession Act is one such legal document which codifies the inheritance laws in case of intestate succession in a Hindu family. Enacted in 1956, the Act was inspired from Mitakshara, which is a legal commentary that was written back in the late 11th and early 12th centuries. The Act is also applicable to Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs along with Hindus. The original Hindu Succession Act of 1956 granted daughters the right to only the acquired property of the father but not the ancestral property. Inheritable property is of two types. One is ancestral property and the other is acquired property. As the name suggests, ancestral property means such property that has been transferred through the earlier generations in the family line. For example, a property that has been transferred from the great-grandfather to the grandfather to the father is known as ancestral property. Acquired property, on the other hand, is property that has been earned or purchased in the lifetime of the person. As we noted earlier, the original Act of 1956 granted daughters the right to only the acquired property of the father. Later in 2005, some significant amendments were made to the Hindu Succession Act. These amendments came into effect from the 9th of September 2005. And according to this newly amended act, both daughters and sons had equal co-parcenary rights over all of the property of the father. A co-parcener is a person who essentially has rights to equal share in the inheritance of a property. So, in essence, daughters now had equal inheritance rights over both the ancestral as well as the acquired property. But this was under the condition that the demise of the father didn't occur before the date of effect of the amendment. That is, before 9th of September 2005. And hence, the provisions of the earlier act were made applicable in such cases of property disputes within family where the demise of the father had occurred before the 9th of September 2005. The recent judgment given by the Supreme Court of India on the 11th of August 2020 essentially revokes this condition. According to this new verdict, the co-parcenary rights granted to daughters over the ancestral property of the father is a birthright and hence shall not depend on the date of demise of the father. Now, sons and daughters have equal co-parcenary rights according to the Hindu Succession Act. The Supreme Court had also directed other courts to decide on cases relevant to this provision within a span of 6 months' time. Now let's take a brief review of the timeline. The original Hindu Succession Act of 1956 granted daughters the right to only acquired property, but ancestral property rights were denied. In the amendments made to the Hindu Succession Act in 2005, women, that is daughters, were granted rights to ancestral as well as acquired property, provided that the demise of the father didn't take place before 9th of September 2005, that is the date of effect of the amendment. Now, in the Supreme Court judgment given on the 11th of August 2020, the rights that were granted to Hindu women by the 2005 amendment have been held, but the condition that the demise of the father must not have occurred before the date of effect of the amendment has been revoked. In essence, daughters shall now have equal co-parcenary rights by the virtue of birth.